Right, so the purpose of this video is to help you or remind you how to use your equation editor in Word, and also to run you through a couple of basics of using FXDraw or Desmos in order to draw these three graphs. You could use any other graphing package, GeoGebra, Geometer Sketchpad, it's up to you. You don't have to use the two that I'm going through or one of the two. It's anyone that you prefer that does the job and you're comfortable with. So just a reminder, if I want to type this in, we go to Insert, Equation, slip of the tap there, and y equals 0.085. Now I want to use a power here, x squared, so I can pop up here, press script. You can see there's some common ones, so you could actually just press x squared, but later on you might wish to choose some different powers, so I would choose this one, and you can just now go x, and using my arrow keys you fill in the gaps. Okay, tap out, minus. Here you can see we've got a fraction, so we pop that. Again, using your arrow keys, fill in the gaps and x. You just type your space. How do I get this? Clearly 0 is easy, but where's our less than or equal to sign? You've got a whole lot of symbols up here. Press the arrow key, you get more. You can even, well, go in there, you can see, you can basic maths, tap on that. You've got a whole lot of other options as well. We're going to stick with basic maths because it's here anyway. So less than or equal to x, and then you can tap that again, less than or equal to 10. And that's how I get these equations pretty much done. If I click out, press enter, you can actually type anything you want there, and so on and so forth. Okay, you want to go back and edit that, just click in, nothing seems to happen, so go back to insert equation, and then all of your little bits and pieces come up here. You can see if you wanted something a little bit more complex, you've got the square root option, so you press the square root. Wow, look at that, it's all there, beautiful. So you can press your square root, and then you would just fill in the bits and pieces that you have underneath. If you wanted to have a logarithmic function, ln, blah 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 blah. Okay, if you wanted to put brackets, you can use the brackets on your keyboard, but you've also got a choice of brackets here that you might want to use. So, you know, investigate this. You probably looked at it in year 11. You can look a little bit more now. Okay, now what if I wanted to graph all of these? We'll show you the easy one first, and then we'll do the more complicated. So all you have to do is open up a tab in your internet and type in Desmos, and open up on the calculator. So if we look at this, it's pretty simple. All we have to do is type in, so one of our functions is y equals minus 0.5x. But you can see this just keeps going on and on forever and a day. We wanted it to be for a specific domain here. If we go back to our equations, we wanted it to be between -4 and 0. So to do that on this, go over here and use your curly brackets, find those, and we go -4, and you've got your keys down here, less than or equal to, press X, less than or equal to, and your curly brackets again. Oh, I forgot to put what it's between, so 0, press your curly bracket, and you can see that it actually then just does it for that domain. If we pop in our other function, y equals 0.085, x, you can see you've got a squared option there, so press it, minus 0.5x, and you can see from the graph that it's going, whoa, crazy. You can also see that this is indeed a tangent. So that's working nicely, and then put your domain, so between 0, less than or equal to, x, less than or equal to, so click it, oops, sensitive there, and to 10, and finish off. You can see we've got a nice coaster, your roller coaster happening there. Press enter. The last function, 1.2x, take 8.5. Okay, and once again, that's going to be between 10 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 20, or whatever domain that you wanted. Now we've got a problem here because it goes to 20, but this is sort of stopping. Now you can move it along like so. We've got an issue there. I think I put too many brackets in. There we go. Okay, so it's come back. But so you can move it around like that. You can probably shrink it using your keypad. However, if you go over here, your graph settings, you can adjust your X and Y scale by hand there. Okay, so -4 and go up to, I think we would like to go a little bit beyond 20, so you can say there 25, and we probably want to go a little bit more than 10 on our Y scale, so maybe go up to 20, and we probably need to go down to that. So if we click now, and you can see, you can get rid of that over there, you can see that we've got a good visual of everything going on. Okay, so you could screenshot it, you can save it, or can you save it? You might have to see what you can do there. I'm just zooming in and out with my arrow key here. You can zoom in and out there. So pretty simple, does a good job. If we go back and we now look at FX Draw, it's a little bit more complicated, but I have to say I prefer these graphs. Now, because I'm using Windows, my f of x embeds within Word. You're using a Mac, it sits as a separate application. What I would like you to do is open, because there's 4 different options that you have here. You've got the stat, the graph, the equation, and the draw. I would like you to go to the draw. So if we open that, again, yours won't be in Windows. Yours will be just as a separate window on your screen, but you will get this same system here. So we want to draw the axes. We press this one down here. Okay, click on it. And now you just notice you get the black cross. Put it anywhere there and bang, we're done. We right click. Now I'll admit that typing the equations in here is a little bit more tiresome and cumbersome, but you'll see, I think, or I hope you like, the finished product is a little bit more polished. Anyway, so y equals 0.5x, and I forgot the negative. How do we put the, so this is an option where it becomes a little bit more tiresome. We use the semicolon and we say -4, now it's less than, that's on your keyboard above your comma, less than or equal to x, less than or equal to, you have to keep pressing that equal sign, and we said to 0. So you can see that looks funny, but it comes out looking like this, which is quite nice. If you don't want to have the decimal there, if you go 1/2, you can see that it comes up as a fraction. So however you want to look at it. Okay. So if you press OK, there we go. That looks pretty nice. I want to get back in and add another equation. Right click, and we just keep going. So press enter. Y equals 0.085x. To do the squared, why did I put an F there? 5x. You can see there's nothing like it was with Desmos. So this is your little hat. So Shift 6. Press it again. Always comes up twice. I know it does that. And squared minus, and again, a half, using my keyboard there, a half x. Press your semicolon. It's between 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to, and we'll go 10. Might as well type the other one in while we're here. Press enter. 1.2x take 8.5, and this is between 10 and, forgot to put my y there, so y equals, this is between 10 and 20 we decided. So again, semicolon 10 less than equal to x. Sort of the quicker, the more you play with this, the quicker you become. Now I press enter or press OK. You can see again my scale isn't that great, so you can right click here, scale, and for starters I would like my x to go to 20. You can make that go to 20, press OK, and there we go, we've got our graph. You can go a little bit more there if you want to. Some of the benefits of this, there's a lot more that you can play around with. If you look at the axes, you know, play around, you can see that the scale, as we just talked about, You can have your grid on or off. If we take it off, you can see that it disappears. Clearly off. Right click again, function properties. That's why I use it, because it's got first, second derivative stuff. You probably don't need it now, but there's a lot of extra bits and pieces here. Also now, when we come here, you can see that we can label each equation. It comes up, but if I move away, it disappears. So while it's there, like that, right click. So I right click, and then if I add annotation, you've got that there. If I try and move that now, because this is still clicked, I'll graph another set of axes. So just pop on your pointer there, and you can see that you can actually move this around. If you right click on it, no, maybe just double tap in it. If you double tap, there you go, double tap in it, left, you can change the color, you can change what's in there, yeah, play around with it, okay? To get out of it, just again click. Now if I want to label this one, I'm hovering it and nothing comes up. That's because it's not highlighted. So just tap in it, see how the green button, the green squares come up, and now when I hover, it does come up. So again, right click, add annotation, and you've got that there. I mean, you might not want the equations there to be labeled, and I'm sure you can find a way to do it in Desmos. That's up to you. You can even label these points. Again, hovering, nothing happens because it's not highlighted. So tap, oops, tap, and there you've got that point of intersection. Again, click here, point of intersection. It just labels it for you really easily. If you want to add another equation in, again, right click and then press enter, and away you go. Type your next one in. So that's a pretty quick rundown of FX Draw. You can even here, you can add in a text box. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you can. So you could type anything there. You can change the colors of these if you don't like them. So by right clicking, okay, over here, this changes, you know, play around. This changes the text box. This might change the color of the function. Oh, actually, no, I lie. If you right click in here, this decides the color of the function. So that's your first one. Click in here, that's your second one. That's why it's red. So if you wanted to change that to green, there we go. Press OK, and it's changed like so. To pop this into my Word document, I can just press the tick button and it updates it. And now I can, you know, I can make it smaller or make it bigger, whatever I want. With yours, with the Mac, I would suggest that you open a file on your desktop and save it. So save graph 1 and save it in there, and then you embed it into the Word document, and that shouldn't take you too long to do. You can either do a screenshot, or I think you can insert. Okay, so give it a play. Makes your stuff look professional. It doesn't matter if you use Desmos, if you use FX, if you use GeoGebra or Geometer Sketchpad, or you find a different graphing package. Okay, hopefully that helps. Good luck.